Joe and Hampton, lights dim, it's game time. Interview sharp, cut through like a shake line.
All right, Stick Lounge. We're on Facebook, Stick Lounge. We're on Instagram at Stick_Lounge. YouTube at Stick_Lounge_podcast. TikTok at Stick.Lounge.podcast. Email sticklounge@dat creolesoul.com. You guys want to use the Stick Lounge podcast studio? Hit us up. We got everything set up. We'll set you up, create some content. You want to use the Stick Lounge itself? Hell yeah, you do. We got a full PA system set up for 4 mics. We've got 70-inch TV. We've got darts. We've got cards. We've got chess. We've got, I think we got Uno. Yeah, we got everything, guys.
And
hit
bones.
us up. You want to do party karaoke? You want to watch a movie?
I just added 2 poker sets up
You want to have a birthday party?
Yeah, full
How
set.
about lawn darts?
Des Moines, Washington.
We have normal darts.
Greenview Drive, right above
Not
Creole
the same.
Soul. Thanks for listening.
All right. Stick Lounge Podcast. What's going on, Hamp?
Welcome back again, day 2.
Yeah, day 2 in a row.
Yeah,
We're popular.
Yeah, I know,
We just did
right?
one last night.
I'm going to repeat what I said last night. Saturday, we got a band, Wood Creek Band, live music, Creole Soul, and following the Saturday after that, the 19th, we got the duo Bravo Brothers.
Yep.
Guitars as well.
Mm-hmm.
So we're good.
Come
We're
down,
good
check
for-
it out.
Yeah.
Pack
come
the
on-
house.
Yeah, come on out and get some catfish.
Yeah.
Best catfish.
And if you haven't been in a little while, we got the stage, we got the lights, we got a little bit more room in the space. We're doing good.
Yeah,
That's downstairs.
Joe did some demolition down there, so.
Yeah, like I said, you see me in Creole, I probably got a tape measure on my pocket. That's how it goes. Stick Lounge, just had an event. Went really well. Did our first speakeasy night. Had about 20 people show up, and everyone had a really good time. Went till about 1:30 in the morning. Ended up doing some karaoke. Had some fun karaoke. We got a party on the 19th, Tammy Williams' birthday party.
Yeah.
That's going to be a dance party. I got to move a bunch of furniture for that one.
Start getting at it, son. Start getting at it. Make that room. Throw some dirt on the floor, some sand, some sawdust. Yeah.
Put
so
some
we
sawdust
can
on the
slide a little bit.
We got that going on. And then, we're going to be talking about our next speakeasy. We got lots of ideas. We're not putting any dates out yet. And actually, we got a guest here today that we're going to make some stuff for. Nathan Kaiser. How's it going, man?
I am doing well. Thanks for having me. I got to say one thing.
Yeah, go for it.
So, one, we're both transplants from the South. Me, Texas, you, Louisiana. The only thing in the world that I'm allergic to is catfish.
Are you serious?
My
Like,
grandfather,
for real?
for real.
No kidding. You're
My
missing out. He's got some
grandfather
good catfish.
raised catfish, right? And anytime I was down on the ranch, he was like, "No grandchild of mine is ever welcome here." And I was like, "But I love you, granddaddy. I love you." And he's like, "You want some catfish?" And I was like, "Damn it."
So you're like literally allergic to catfish.
I mean, it's not like I don't get anaphylactic shock, but like
What happened?
my life gets, let's not talk about it.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, we don't want to talk. I got lots of catfish to sell, so we don't want to talk.
No, but I've heard, I've heard the shellfish, and what we get all the time here is the gluten. Is this gluten free? Is it
God,
vegan?
I've never been into a state that people are allergic to so many different things.
I think it's a time period thing or something. I don't know what's going on, man. I really don't. It's weird.
I was like, everybody farts. You're not special.
I read that book to my kids.
Everybody farts, I'm like, and then people come to me and they're like, "Oh my God, does your whiskey have any gluten in it?" And I was like, "No spirits have gluten because it's distilled."
Is that true?
Yeah.
Because I know
100%.
people that say they can't drink whiskey because they're what's it called?
Wussies?
Yes.
No.
No, it's called. Damn it! There's a term for it. Celiac.
Celiacs. I have a buddy who is full on celiacs, and he drinks more of my whiskey than anybody I know.
No kidding.
Yeah, 100%.
All right, good to
I
know.
heard it.
So
Yeah.
So
right
a
here.
little
Oh, wait.
science.
You can drink whiskey.
You need like a super lame one that's like for scientific fact time.
Right. Yeah, I do.
But
I've got a lot of them. I just got to remember where they're at.
Oh my God. Well, that's why they're color coded.
I know.
So gluten doesn't make it through the distillation process,
Okay.
right? It's too big of a molecule. And when you're distilling, it's not carried by the alcohol and water vapor over into the new make whiskey.
That makes sense.
And
That
on
makes
that
sense.
note, let's move to fun stuff.
I'm going to talk a bunch of shit
I
to
have
the
no
people that
idea.
I know that are.
I'm from the South, and I'm allergic to this stuff.
You're not allergic. You're just a big sissy. No, Ham doesn't drink, and I applaud you because I am enjoying a really good glass of whiskey right now.
For the record, you said Budweiser earlier. So
did.
don't
I did.
put that shit on me, Ricky Bobby.
Okay, Budweiser stopped me from sipping. Okay, so I'm gonna just leave it.
Have you ever tried a whiskey?
No, don't care to either.
No, I'm not gonna get you to do it. But I'm just saying, you've never, other than Budweiser, you never had any other alcohol. No kidding.
Hamp, I really look forward to the date when you hit puberty and you come over
Again
to the good stuff. Grow up,
right?
you know.
No. I'll pass. I
right.
got more alcohol downstairs that I can throw a stick at.
Yeah. Well, I've known bar owners in the past. I used to do music back in the day, and the guys that drank their own stash, they were always out of business eventually. So
It's not a good path to be on.
Right,
100%. Yeah.
it's all about the money, man.
It's
all about the money.
Yeah, it's all about the money. That's
Don't drink the profit.
premium.
There you go.
Yeah, so.
All right, cool. How did you get into whiskey?
Oh my God. So
Was this like a passion of yours always, or?
I've always loved bourbon. And this is, my wife's going to hate this story.
That's all
Be
right.
careful.
We're in the safe tree in the zone with the.
That's bullshit, dude. I call it the tree of trust over the chasm of doom.
There you go.
Because if you let go, you got real problems.
It's a long way to fall. Yep.
But is this going out in the public at all? Oh, wait.
Yeah. As public as it can get.
Yeah. So we're falling to the chasm.
That's true.
But so I was making some stuff at home. All essential oils. Wink, wink, nod.
Of
nod.
course. That's why you can buy those things, right?
And I was like, I want to open something. I want to open one. I'd been in product early on in my career, and I loved it. And then I got into tech.
Okay.
But I really love making stuff.
Yeah.
And we just had our first son. And
Congratulations.
Well, my part was easy. My wife was literally, she's gonna hate this story. She was breastfeeding.
Okay. Yeah.
Eli, a wonderful young man now, was 3 months old.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I want to open a whiskey distillery.
While she's breastfeeding.
Yep. And she goes, yeah, you should do that.
Yeah.
And I left the room before she could change her mind.
Okay.
And I was off to the races.
Good deal.
And
Yeah.
from day one, I was like, how the hell am I going to sell Hamp some whiskey? To this day, I'm a failure.
So did she mishear you, or she was all in?
She is a wonderful, amazing woman. And she goes, I always know who I married.
All right, cool.
And that was a wannabe entrepreneur.
All right.
You
Gotcha.
know, doing your own thing,
Yeah.
making your own way, come
Nice.
hell or high water. And I did not know how hard it was going to be.
Right.
I'd never worked in a I'd never really been in a distillery before opening my own.
So you didn't work in any other company?
I
You just
never
kinda
worked
get
at a
feel for
bar.
it? No,
I've never
really,
worked in
not
a
even a bar.
restaurant.
Okay.
I never worked retail outside of like one Christmas vacation,
Sure.
at one of the old CD places. Right.
Right, yeah,
I
yeah.
lasted like 15 days.
Okay.
And
Customer service wasn't your jam.
that was
Okay.
knowledge of the CDs was not.
I gotcha.
And also standing up for 8 hours a day. And then so when I opened, I was wild. What is it called? Wide-eyed in the wilderness. But I listened well, and I had a guy come in. This is we're jumping ahead a little bit, but I opened after a year of finding a location, a year of the build out, and this guy came in, and he started with just bucket loads of dad's money.
Okay.
Right. And he's dressed to the nines, in the suit. And I bootstrapped a whiskey distillery, which is almost the dumbest thing in the world. Almost like doing a land war in Asia or going up against a Sicilian when life is on the line. Right?
Okay.
Like it was that dumb.
Yeah.
And he looked at my facility and it was bad. It was cheap. We had just no real equipment. I can go into it if you want. But
it's your hour, man. You tell us.
Well, he looked at me eye to eye, and he goes, "You're fucked." Right?
Really?
And I looked at him and said, I know.
You're like, hey, help me out, man.
But I'm still here.
Yeah. Hell yeah, man. Hey,
He
you
is
know
not.
There you go.
And I don't, you guys know what it's like, right? You're running your own businesses. You're doing your own thing. Failure is not an option.
No,
Right.
Everybody's going to tell you you're an idiot. They're not all wrong.
That's true. That is true.
Right.
Yeah. You got to kind of sift through it, right?
And you just got to execute.
Yeah.
And
100%.
you just got to outgrind everybody else out there.
That's right.
Yep.
And,
Execution is a big thing.
Right. And, when I started, everyone's like, you got to do a vodka and you got to do a gin and you got to do liqueurs and brandies.
Right. Start
And-
branching out
and
to
I
all the
said
different
no.
markets. Yeah. Okay.
We did a vodka and a moonshine to start with,
Okay.
just for getting something out the door, clear spirits, right?
Those are easier, right? The faster.
Well, vodka and makers won't say that, but yeah.
Okay.
You know,
Well, it's
there's
a
no
shorter.
aging.
There's no
There's
aging.
no
Right.
aging.
Exactly. Yeah.
And I discontinued the vodka as soon as I could. We still do the moonshine for fun and family heritage.
Okay.
But I was like, no, we're going to be a bourbon distillery
I
because I'm
love
a
it.
bourbon guy.
I'm a bourbon guy too. I love it.
And for 9 years of our first 12, we only had one SKU, 100 proof bourbon.
Mhm.
And then when we got it to 2 years, it became straight bourbon.
Hold that up for a sec. I want to make sure we're getting it in the. Yeah, I like that. Perfect. All right.
And then this is the only now bottled and bond made consistently here in the Northwest.
I didn't even know you guys were from here. It was so funny, man. I told you kind of how I found out.
Well, I'm
you know?
not from here.
Well, it was
I mean,
distilled
I'm a
locally.
born again Seattleite, so I drive slow in the left lane, forgot how to merge, and vitamin D deficient.
Right.
But I do love it here. You
Yeah,
know? Yeah.
yeah.
So I met a girl, you know.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But I mean, I went to like high school and college here, and then worked.
Oh, you
here.
did. Okay.
And then I moved back to Texas, and
Okay.
then to New York, and then back.
Bounced
So
around quite a bit.
There will be no quiz.
Yeah,
Before go ahead.
No, you.
Before I open up Creole Soul, talking about bourbon, I was going to open up a bar and call it Urban Bourbon.
Oh yeah.
And I was going to go to different countries and find the best bourbon that was around.
That would have been a short trip.
Oh,
You know
yeah?
why?
Well,
Well, you can only make bourbon in the U.S.
oh, that's see how much I know about. I don't
Yeah, you
drink.
learn something new every day.
Yeah, but that was my plan to go to different countries, different places, different
Well, there's
states.
different whiskeys everywhere.
Yeah.
Right? So that's probably you know,
Yeah,
like
and just bring it back and have it on the shelf.
Yeah, you can do
mean,
scotch, right?
a little Scotch, and you do like single malts, like Japanese single malts, even Indian.
I had a
single
really good
malts.
Japanese single malt recently.
Oh, it's so
Yes,
good.
It was pretty good.
So good. I mean, there's just so much good stuff that's out there.
Mhm.
You know, I think we make really good stuff, but like there's tons of great distilleries here in Washington,
Yeah.
Oregon, everywhere.
Mhm.
And the ones that are surviving make pretty good juice.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Because you have to. If
Yeah.
I was still selling the whiskey that I mean, my first batch was 9 months old
Okay.
in a 15-gallon barrel. If I was still doing that, I'd be tits up
Right. Right.
and 6 feet underground.
Yep. Yep.
You
Yep.
know, I'd be with that guy who said you're fucked.
Yeah.
I would have been like, you were right.
I'm still fucked. Now I'm just deeper in the ground.
I don't know. Well, just still digging.
Still digging. So what? How long did it take you to kind of perfect what you're putting out now? I mean, I know you got different. What do we got here? Let's talk about these. You got your straight bourbon. You got your wine barrel finish.
And we have our amaretto barrel.
We're doing
finish.
the amaretto.
You're
I'm-
drinking the amaretto.
Okay.
Amaretto.
What are you
yeah.
drinking?
And I'm drinking the straight
Oh, you're drinking the
because I
straight.
got to
Okay.
drive after this.
That's true.
You know?
I'm
and,
not.
And then we have yeah.
Hamp, I might need a ride home.
Well, don't you have him working downstairs after this?
I'm
with the tape
closed
measure?
today. I'm closed. So yeah. So he
Amaretto's
he
good,
got
man.
nothing to do downstairs.
Well, that one is kind of awesome because it's the only one in the world, to my knowledge, that
Okay.
does it.
I don't think I've ever had an amaretto whiskey. So
Well, I think we created it. I
Mm-hmm.
don't have it, like we work with this great distillery up in Vancouver, BC,
okay,
called Sons of Vancouver.
I think I've heard
They
of that.
have an amazing amaretto,
Okay.
and even you'd like it.
You keep
Put it on
trying.
some
No,
ice cream.
Keep trying.
when you're going taking your wife out for a nice date, you know,
a
a little bit here and a little bit there.
My
Hey,
wife
honey.
was a whiskey girl, but she didn't stop drinking now. So yeah, she loves good whiskey.
Well, she likes to find it in fun places. I can't believe I just said that.
No, it's good. It's good. Good marketing.
Yeah,
We're not just a drink.
no,
We're
we're
a
full body experience.
There you go. See, you are good at this.
So we send our barrels up to him
Okay.
in James Lester, awesome guy, just amazing man, and he ages his amaretto
Okay.
in those barrels.
Nice.
And then we get them back and finish
Oh.
our bourbon in them,
Nice.
and then we get it out the door. So it's like that sweetness, the
Yeah,
nuttiness,
definitely.
but not overpowering. Like there's no insulin shot required.
Right. No.
There's
and not
whiskeys that are just like
too sweet.
they're goopy.
Yeah, I don't like
You
that.
know, from the sugar.
No, this is perfect.
So
Yeah.
back up a little bit,
Yes,
fill
sir.
me in, educate me. You said,
Why? You don't even drink.
but I like to know.
I know.
You take the barrels. You said the barrels are actually amaretto. Then you just pour your stuff in. It kind of soaks. I'm not sure.
Yeah, no. So we can only use our barrels once,
Mhm.
right? When we're
Because that's what makes it.
that's it. Well, bourbon is like a lot of things, but it's also that. And like,
Right.
But we send our once used bourbon barrels up to James at Sons of Vancouver.
Okay.
He puts his amaretto in those barrels to get a lot of that bourbon
Gotcha.
deepness and texture and richness, like the butterscotch, vanilla, the cherry.
Mhm.
And then we get those barrels back And that now after he, empties them and bottles that, and now we have a little bit of that sweetness and the nuttiness from the amaretto.
Yeah.
And that's where it's like, almost like an old fashioned at 90 proof. Like my distributors keep asking, hey, Nathan, you need to do an RTD, ready to drink.
Okay.
And I was like, my shit is ready to drink.
No, the amaretto really
at
is
all
man, for
times.
Sure. Yeah. No, but I get what you're saying with the old fashioned. That's kind of what it tastes like. Yeah. But it's not overpowering. It's not too sweet. It's really good.
It's really subtle. We don't do anything like a slap in the face.
Right.
Except for the 128 proof.
I have not tried that one yet.
No, we didn't bring it. I wanted
That's
to
probably
see if
good.
you
I'd be
were
sleeping
worthy
right over here on
first.
this couch.
Yeah. Well, a little bit of that one goes a long way.
I bet. Yeah, I bet. Is it smooth though? We're gonna set up a
Every
tasting.
supplier will tell you their shit is smooth.
Right, but for 128 proof,
it's really smooth.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. But so bourbon is just what was that? Sorry,
I just say 128 proof. I see people act up on 80 proof.
Yeah, I don't know if I've ever had 128. I've had a 101. I've had a 110. 128 is pretty high, isn't it?
It's exceptionally high.
Go blind.
When we do,
I don't need that.
Oh, you don't need that. We're not giving you that.
I'm already blind.
oh no, I'm right here.
I hear you.
And you're not even drinking.
Oh yeah, so bourbon though is made in the U.S., so that would have saved you a lot of trips back to that.
We're good, yeah.
But it's majority corn, distilled below 125 proof off the still.
Okay.
Or sorry, 160 proof.
Okay.
Aged in a new American charred oak barrel.
Right.
At or below 125 proof.
Okay.
And then it only has to touch that barrel and it can be poured out, and that's bourbon.
Okay.
To be straight bourbon, it's a minimum of 2 years in that barrel.
Okay.
And then to be bottled in bond, it has to be 4 years in the barrel and bottled at 100 proof.
Okay. Damn.
So that's
That's a lot, man. But I mean, I guess once you're doing it, but so how long did it take you? Obviously, at least many, many years,
Long
right?
time.
To even get to that point where you can start selling it as such, right?
Well, you'll appreciate this. Somebody asked me once, they're like, well, do you have an original barrel? And I was like, fuck no. It's called cash flow.
Yeah. Yeah. For
like
sure.
don't bootstrap a whiskey distillery, right?
Right.
Like I was like, every barrel we were selling. So the first batch was 9 months old in a 15-gallon barrel.
Okay.
The second was 9.5. The third was back to 9.
Right.
And then, but over time, I was like, look, we need to be laying down whiskey, and we need to start aging it. And so, like, I think it was 9 years in that we got to 4 years.
Okay.
I think it was like
because you're like setting this aside. It's not going to make us money for X amount of years, right? I mean,
I have liquid assets up the kazoo.
Okay.
Sitting in barrels.
Yeah, literal liquid asset.
And my insurance company is not going to like this, but like I'm worth more if there was a fire.
Right, because it all goes up at once. I know a guy.
Claim. No. It's funny. I joke about it, but it's like, I don't know if I have it in me to rebuild it again.
Really?
I mean, we've all tried building stuff, right?
Sure.
And it's right, like it's funny as hell, which is where my sense of humor gets me in trouble. But like, it has taken blood, sweat, and tears. Any entrepreneurial venture is brutal.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Whenever I hear anybody say, "Oh, I want to start my own business," I was like, "Are you ready for the rejection, the denial?" And I'm talking from banks. I'm talking from customers, right? I'm talking from everybody. Yeah, I know you know.
Hamp knows.
Right?
How many bars you own, Hamp?
I've owned 6.
Yeah.
And
What we were talking about too earlier is how important it is to say no as well.
Yeah.
Right? Many entrepreneurs are undone by the wanting to grow at all costs and by saying yes too often. And I think one of the reasons I'm still here, and I think obviously you're still here, is you go, no.
Yeah.
People are like, but I can get this for you, or you can do this for you.
Or this is a good idea.
we talked about that the other day. I said,
Yeah.
I don't want nobody to do anything for me. Let me do me.
Right.
I'm going to do it myself. I don't need, no.
Yeah. It's the most empowering.
Yeah.
It's like when I tell my son, I was like, look, man, one, it's a numbers game. you know, with the ladies.
Yeah.
But 2, some of you got to tell no.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And he's like, what are you talking about?
He's like,
That?
I don't like that idea at all.
He's like, does not compute.
How old is he now?
He's 14.
Oh, yeah. Perfect.
Yeah, 14.
He's right in there.
14 going on 21.
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know?
What do you mean? No. What's that word?
Yeah.
Exactly.
But
No,
yeah.
I'm just dipping my toe in it now with the podcast and the lounge. I work for a company and I've been with that company for a very long time. 17, 18 years now. And it's always been the sure thing for me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And now that my kids are older and stuff, I'm able to comfortably branch out and do some other things.
Joe, you're fucking it up and doing it all wrong.
Yeah, am I?
You got to do it like I did with all newborns.
Right. And just go all in.
Just all the in.
Yeah.
You know, I only had 1 chip.
That's right. Holding the cards close, holding them real close.
So they say 7-2 offsuit is a good one.
Exactly right.
Yeah. No, I'm learning that though. You know, you got to say no. We've had so many people come up into this space and be like, you know what you should do.
Everybody
you know,
got
it's like,
something to say.
yeah.
But they
everybody's got an
mean
idea.
well.
Yeah.
You know, you can't.
They do.
You can't take it negatively, but you have to ignore
I do
all of it.
sometimes.
Really? Yeah. After talking to me, you take anything seriously?
But you know, the thing is like those same people, we were talking about this too, those same people that are like, you should do this, it'll be amazing. We do the thing. And then those people that thought it was a great idea don't show up or put up or.
The only question to ask them, I think, is would you be willing to put some money down for that right now?
Right. Yeah.
In my last boy in rookies in Mississippi Gulfport, I had a big old glass jar. I said, you want to tell me what I should do? Put some skin in the game.
Yeah.
There you go. Drop it in.
understand?
That's a brilliant idea.
Yeah, put some skin in the game. Then we can talk.
There you
Other than
go.
that, I don't want to hear a word.
You should do that down in Creole, man. You still get a lot of people coming in saying you should do this and that.
Advice is free, right?
Yeah.
Right.
But when real money is put on the table, people start changing their tune
That's
pretty
right.
quick.
Well, this space up here, you know, Hamp had some people that were like, oh, here, we're all in. We're going to help. We're going to do. We're going to this. We're going to that. Years later, I'm like, I mean, I'll help, man. Let's do it.
But those are the people that are change agents for an entrepreneur, right?
Yeah.
The ones that are like, hey, I'll do it. And then they do it. So a little anecdote is, so I'd started this business, right? And I didn't know Jack.
Right.
Some might say I still don't know Jack.
Right.
And I had this young woman email me out of the blue.
Okay.
And she had said, I want to learn about distilling. And I wrote, come on down. Right? The price is right.
Yeah.
And she shows up and she never stopped working.
And now this
The
is
first Maddie Kelly,
Okay.
you know, and she emailed me and said, hey, I want to learn about making whiskey. And I said, come on down. She did. Within a month, I put her to work. She showed up. I had her cleaning out the mash done, and she was dressed for success.
Okay.
Right? Dressed for an interview.
Yeah.
And then
First day. Showed
first
up,
day.
interview,
Well,
you got her cleaning it out.
I learned long ago that my interview process sucks.
Okay.
I'm going to say something inappropriate.
Yeah.
Thank God I'm HR. You
Right.
know?
We heard that one a lot. His wife used to say, I'm HR.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're not HR. I can just tell by the hat.
No, definitely not.
But and she and like, you know, within a month she was running the tasting room, and this is when we were really doing anything to drive revenue, and we were very active on the tasting room, a lot
Right.
less so now.
Yeah.
And within a year she had replaced the 5 guys that I had working there
No kidding.
and was crushing, and now
That's
she's our
awesome.
head distiller.
Nice.
Right. And I asked her recently, I said, hey, recently, like last 2 years. 3 years.
Yeah.
I said, what? I don't even know if you have a degree.
Like,
Later.
yeah.
I'm, you know, back to being a bad interviewer.
Right.
And
What was your name again?
I was like, you're getting paid, right?
Yeah. Are
Going
you
to
on
the-
payroll?
It's going to the right address. Shit. And she has a chemistry degree,
Okay.
right?
Oh, that's
And,
Wow,
But
that's
here's
perfect.
the most humbling aspect that I learned is that I thought she had heard about this amazing distillery called 2 Bar Spirits, right?
Okay.
Nope. Fucking first alphabetical.
Really?
And so she was just going down the list, and I was the fastest to respond.
2 bar.
2 Bar. Number 2, BAR, alphabetical.
That's like old school when they used to do
I'm in-
AAA auto repair in the yellow pages,
I'm
man.
in front of AA towing. I crush them.
There you go. Yep,
Crush 'em.
exactly. Did you? That wasn't part of it, was it? The naming.
No, the 2 Bar was only because she emailed me first,
Right.
going down the list. But
Where did you get the name 2 bar?
Yeah, good question.
So the name 2 Bar comes from my family's ranch back to the catfish in South Texas. So the cattle brand was 2 Bar. Or
Okay.
is 2 Bar. It's still in the family.
Okay.
And I mean, when you say that you love a place, right? I think that we all have a place.
Yeah.
And it can move. It can change with who we are at any given time and where we are. But this is my place.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
And I remember growing, so born in Austin, raised in Houston, and I would go to that ranch every time.
That was
I
your
could.
spot. Yeah.
It was. Well, and it was to be with my grandparents.
Yeah.
Right. And these were two people that never stopped working.
Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah.
I mean,
Ranch owners, man.
My grandmother named Gladys Blanc
Okay.
didn't learn English until I think she went to maybe first grade,
Oh, wow.
maybe second.
What's Blanc? Is that
German.
German? Okay.
Very German.
I was
Yeah,
I was
like
gonna guess,
Kaiser,
but
you know, like
yeah.
Kaiser.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
And but she was a sharecropper,
Okay.
and she grew up in dirt floors in South Texas picking cotton.
That's crazy, man.
And she remembers picking cotton with her family, and like as a sharecroppers, they made no money. They lived in abject poverty. And she goes, "I never felt unloved."
Yeah.
And she remembers her dad would see her and her mom getting tired, and he would take over and do their rows as well.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, these are hard working
Oh yeah.
people.
Yep.
And then my grandfather, his dad died at the age, I think he was 8,
Oh wow.
and he was working cattle on a horseback.
Wow.
And the horse got startled, and
Oh,
as I
no.
understand, like crushed his head up against a live oak. Right.
Oh, no kidding.
Died in my grandfather's room.
Wow.
I get goosebumps when I talk about
That's
this shit.
crazy, man.
And so this is my homage
That's the homage.
to that heritage
Huh.
and history. And one of the most powerful stories I have when I started my business,
Mhm.
and I was so fucked, right? Like,
Right.
and I mean, I say that in fun, but every entrepreneur is fucked,
Sure.
right? Until you find a way. And here I am. I've had my second kid when we finally got open. Like literally,
Congratulations again.
3 minutes.
Again.
That's about right.
And like my wife just got let go from her job,
Mm.
right? I was no longer working in my old company.
I was gonna say, so you're not involved in.
No.
You said you were in tech before.
I was in tech, yeah.
Okay.
And I opened this business, and I don't know if you know this, but a whiskey distillery is a cash cow. In that you put that cow away,
Right.
you don't even get to milk it.
Right. Right.
You know?
it's
You
like
got-
the freezer of beef.
Oh,
It's for
man.
emergencies only.
That is like behind the triple locked doors at the bank.
Right. Right.
And this lady came in. Right here I am. I'm trying to keep it together. I'm trying to pull cash from wherever I can
Sure.
to lay down whiskey, to pay my team, to pay rent.
Yeah.
Help the family wherever I can.
Right.
And this woman comes in and she goes, "Oh, what's that?" And I go, "That's a picture of my grandfather holding my father as a, toddler."
Mhm.
And the name comes from the family ranch. And she looks at me and she goes, "We used to have a place." Right.
Yeah.
And I realized,
So it struck a chord.
oh my God.
Yeah.
And she was like, "We lost our place,"
Ah.
And I realized Americans are losing our places,
Yeah, for sure.
and there's no right place, right?
Right.
And it could be, but grandma's home is no longer there.
That's true.
The
for
farm
me.
is no longer there.
Also true. Yeah.
Right.
I had that stuff back in Nevada growing up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we are losing a sense of that, the importance of that, right?
Yeah.
I don't care who you are or where you're from,
Mhm.
right? But that heritage and that history, we need to preserve it or at least remember it.
Yeah.
Right.
And
Yeah.
so this is, while it's a whiskey distillery and I have a very inappropriate sense of humor,
No, it's cool though, man.
this is
Good story.
that for me
That's awesome.
and for my kids.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, I even, I'm such a nut. I had soil shipped up from the ranch. And,
That's cool, man.
And hold on, wait for the fucking punchline.
Okay. Sorry.
And I had it under the birthing table
Oh,
for my
wow.
3 boys.
No kidding.
And the doctor was like, "What? It's disgusting." And I was like, "I don't know. Watching a light birth is pretty disgusting."
Right?
And,
Been there, done that.
I was like, we should be in the next room smoking cigars.
Yeah.
I
Right.
love my wife to the end of the earth,
Right.
right? I would do anything for her. Come on. I don't need to be in
Oh
there.
yeah. My youngest was a cesarean.
Oh, yeah. Oh, so you saw the whole thing?
I told my wife, I saw more of you than you will ever see of you.
Did you watch Alien, the original, with her then after that?
I've seen it. I didn't watch it with her, but yes. Running across the table.
That's
Yeah,
so
man,
bad.
that was something. But yeah,
We're not winning any sensitivity awards here.
No,
No,
definitely
not at
not.
all.
But anyway, so this is that homage to that, right?
That's
and I tell
awesome.
my boys, I go, and my wife is amazing, like I said, but also 6th generation
Mm-hmm.
Chinese American, and they came over. Her Heritage came over to build the railroads.
No kidding.
Right?
Yeah.
Long
Long time ago. Yeah.
And worked and did not do well.
Well, that's crazy.
But her family's done well. They're great people.
Nice.
And I tell my boys, I go, what are you? And they're like, well, we're German, Irish, Chinese.
Right.
I go, yeah, but what are you? And they're like, well, we're American. And I go,
Right.
yeah, 100%.
There
But
you
what
go.
are you? And they go,
Still got anything else?
Texan.
Texas.
They were born over soil.
Hey, there you go.
counts.
Keeping it alive.
Yeah.
Southern roots, man.
Yeah.
It's
Yep.
true, right? You can take the boy out of Texas or Louisiana.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't take Louisiana or Texas out of the boy.
I love Texas. I had my first bar in Dallas.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, off of Central Expressway and Walnut Hill.
So you know, I've only met you a little bit, and you did seem like a fairly intelligent person. And then you go opening bar after bar after bar.
But each one of them did well.
Well, then, boom. 'Cause that's not common.
No.
Like if you want to lose money, right?
Yeah,
Bart,
Yeah.
it's because you don't drink.
that's right.
Mind blown.
That's right.
I solved the case. I cracked the case.
Now, what was your was the biggest one?
Don't
Rookies or
drink.
Beamers?
No, Beamers was the biggest. Held 1,700 people, 9 bars.
Wow.
Huge.
Yeah, he's had some big bars.
Wow. But I mean, it's such a hard business.
It's a hard business.
You know,
That's
you
right.
gotta I think everybody loves, and I've never owned a bar and I refuse to, like a restaurant. Like
I
these are
say the
things that-
same thing, dude. I tell him all the time, this is the last business I want to be in. And now here I am with the stick lounge with this guy.
well, we'll have a conversation about that offline.
Yeah. I'm up late nights just thinking, constantly thinking.
But
Just-
you never stop working. You've
No.
got
No.
cash flow. You've got
Yeah.
people, and then you got suppliers like me that all want your business.
I want
Yep.
to be- That's right.
Yep.
Oh man, it's a hard.
And it's hard for me because I'll be like, I need somebody over here because I need somebody to taste this.
Right,
Because I
right.
don't want to hear that bullshit about, oh, it's good.
Yeah.
I
need-
represent that remark.
So I need taste testers when I need to talk
Yeah.
about this stuff. I mean,
Yeah, that's where I come in.
Yeah.
yeah, that's where Joe tips the bottom.
I got you, Hamp.
But it comes down to the nuts and bolts, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's you can't let up.
No, you can't let up.
No
you
room
got
for
to
error.
You know
pushing.
I will say one thing, though, for a guy that doesn't drink and has taste testers, dude can make a really good drink. He's an excellent bartender, which blows my mind.
I believe it. I believe it.
blows my mind.
It's all about just
It's all Shirley Temples, but sure.
that's right. And just a drop full of whiskey just to taste on their lips.
That's how he makes his profit.
Yeah. No, and it's funny because he's got his drinks, his house drinks on his menu. And I asked him, I'm like, how'd you come up with these? He's like, I made them. I'm like, you made these drinks? What'd you do? You set down a bunch of,
It's like making grape Kool-Aid. You know how much sugar you want in there.
Yeah.
but you had people trying them when you made them, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. They're like, oh, this is good.
And then you just follow the recipe.
So
Yeah.
with that many bars and what would be the advice?
We're interviewing Hampton now.
Yeah. What would be? Yeah, I'm
Go for it, man.
What would be the advice you have for an entrepreneur that's looking to open a bar?
Stay away.
Yeah. Okay.
Have you thought about it?
Fuck no.
No, not at all.
No, I have. Fuck yes. Fuck no.
Gotcha. Yeah.
I mean, it is like a one leap
Mhm.
for me into an entirely unrelated industry.
Right.
Is
Being
enough.
a distiller has nothing to
And-
do with being a bar owner.
No, that's right.
Right.
And there's nothing more that I want to do than this till I die.
Right.
Right. I think I'm the only idiot out there who doesn't want to sell the business.
Yeah. That's
Right.
great, man.
Well, it's dumb,
Sure.
but if you find what you want to do,
Mhm.
Yeah.
right? Like this gives me joy,
That's awesome, man.
and
That's the purpose, right? I mean, you
love it.
found something that you actually enjoy doing
That's
every
right.
day. You have
and that's
passion
not
behind it.
common.
Yeah. No, it's
It's not
not
common.
It's not.
And I do say like a little hypocrisy here is like we're all sold on this bill of goods
Mhm.
that you have to love what you do,
That's right.
That's very true.
and that is a recipe for failure
I agree with that
for
100%.
99.999% of people.
I'm that dad that tells my kids that all the time. Like if you end up doing
Break the
something you
cycle.
love, yeah. If you end up doing something you love, great. Probably not going to happen. But you're going to find something that you're good at
That's right.
and stick with that and make some money.
Find something that provides you guys, your family,
There you go.
a nice lifestyle.
Yep.
Do it well,
Yeah.
and then do whatever the fuck you want.
Right.
on the
Exactly.
side.
That's
Right.
right.
Exactly.
I'm just fucked because this is what I like.
Yeah.
And I like my Creole Soul.
I
I like
know.
my bars, so
Yeah.
you make it work.
We're broken.
Yeah, you sure
We're
are.
broken inside. There's like a piece missing.
Yeah.
And
So
I
I still got the sure thing on the side. I'm just doing this.
I
I'm
just
testing
told
the
him.
water.
I just told him about a month ago. I said I want to open another big bar. I want to
does,
open up
yeah.
a big dance club.
Oh wow. Well, and now, would this be in the Northwest? Like
That's what I said.
It's so hard. It's so hard in the Northwest.
Yeah.
Right. Like prices for rent are high.
Oh, yeah.
Labor
Everything.
costs
Crazy,
are high.
yeah.
Everything.
But I mean, I talked to a lot of people here, and it's not easy, and it's only getting harder.
Mm-hmm.
I was in Missouri recently, just going out and working the market and having fun, meeting people, and places there are packed.
Really?
And they are spending money, and cocktails there
Mm-hmm.
are like $12.
Well,
Right.
yeah. What's the tax? Is it 30% on this?
Well, it depends on how you look at it and where you're buying it and how. But here, like the same cocktail is 18 to 20,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
and people just don't have the money.
No, and people freak out too. I've noticed this a lot. You go out. I do it myself. Shit. I went with a buddy today to lunch. We went to Jersey Mike's to get some subs. It was $20.
Oh,
It's a freaking $20 sandwich,
wait,
man.
when they take a credit check,
Yeah, exactly.
They call your
and then
bank.
they want you to tip.
Yeah,
They get the little thing like tip me. I'm like,
But
aren't
they're
you
not
making
making-
$30 an hour doing
but they're
this?
not making the company right.
But
is not making
minimum
any money.
wage out here is granted, it's
That's
expensive to live out
two
here too.
separate
Yeah,
discussions.
that's
right?
true. That is true.
And these companies aren't they're closing.
Mm-hmm.
Jersey Mike's, I think that's a franchise, so maybe the franchisee's going to get killed. But businesses are closing left, right, and
They
center
are.
right now.
Especially in the food industry, some of the bigger ones are closing.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. 'Cause
I think what is it? Red Robin or what's the other one? Chili's. Chili's closed a bunch of locations.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they shut down a bunch of locations because people aren't going out and spending the money and then tipping and then doing all the things because it's expensive. I mean, shit, eggs are $100 a dozen right now.
I filled out a credit application for some eggs.
Yeah.
I had to make a bread pudding.
I got a lady a girl at work and she brings 2 boiled eggs every day and I'm like, I don't know how much you're making, but damn.
Trust fund.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what
exactly.
keeps me going though? I mean, the food I serve, they can't get that Southern cuisine.
That's very
here,
true.
No, yeah. So you're paying top dollar for it.
Yeah, so
Well, he's flying everything in from Louisiana.
yeah, I fly everything in from Louisiana.
Oh, wow. You're an idiot. I say that with love.
With love.
No, but I mean, because you're doing it because you're passionate about it.
Yeah,
You love it.
and I got to stay
And,
authentic.
and there's no
you
no
do gotta
rationale.
stay
You don't need a rationale. You're
No.
there's no reason to open a whiskey distillery,
Right.
right? There's a lot of great whiskey out of Kentucky. There's a lot of great whiskey out of Tennessee.
Yeah.
And a lot of great whiskey out of Indiana, right? So that's where a lot of the small places source their whiskey.
Yeah.
Right? And it's delicious, and they know what they're doing.
Right.
And
Been
it's
doing it for a
amazing.
long time.
So here this idiot comes in. And you think that's a joke. That got ya.
No, we just been there.
That was the punchline. And I'm like, no, we're gonna do it all from scratch. We've always made every drop. It's so dumb. So dumb. Like what you're doing,
Yeah.
it's so dumb, but you can't do it
Can't
otherwise.
not do it that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like you're like, there's no faux crab here, people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, no,
And hats off to you, man.
yeah, thank you.
No, I mean the
You're an
gator.
idiot.
We had a guy come in the other day
That was a
large idiot.
I'm out of punching range.
Yeah, right.
No, you're not.
We had a guy come in the other day. It was Baby Gator's brother,
Yeah,
and he said he went to a place in Louisiana.
no, he was here.
Where was he at?
I forgot where he was at.
He was somewhere, and he ordered the gator,
Yeah.
and they brought it to him, and then he asked Hampton. He said, "You ever have gator that has gristle and fat on it?" And Hamp goes, "No, it's an alligator. They're not fat. It's
No,
like
it's not
skinning
an
a
alligator.
rattlesnake."
Yeah.
I said, "They sold you some pork and told you it was alligator."
Tastes like chicken.
The Hamp's got real gator from Louisiana. You know.
Come get some gator. We got it. Wow.
So what? Your passion for bourbon, for whiskey, is what drove you to start this. Where did that passion start? Was it just you always loved it? What was your favorite bourbon or whiskey before you started making your own?
And how old were you when you started drinking bourbon?
Oh my God.
You
These
said
are
you
good
were a late
questions.
bloomer with drinking, right?
Yeah, very much. I think, never got into any super drinking in college or high school. College,
Yeah.
figured it out.
It's probably, you know what, though? That's a good thing because people that just love drinking don't generally do great, especially owning a bar
Yeah.
or a distillery because they're just going to drink, right?
This is going to be really funny, but my first intro to bourbon was Bullet.
Bullet's good. I like Bullet.
Bullet was MGP out of Indiana.
Okay.
Right
Okay.
now they're making some of their own, if not all. Right.
Mhm.
But that's what kind of was like, oh, this got some flavor to it.
Mhm.
It's
Yeah.
got some goodness. I was like the classic.
Yeah.
vodka and gin until he hit puberty. And then,
gin and juice.
Well,
Everclear and
come on,
fucking
a
everything
good-
you can throw in the 5-gallon
a
bucket.
good gin and tonic, right? You
Gin and
can't-
tonics are good.
Like
yeah.
you can't go. It's super easy.
Yeah.
And I have not had one since I opened the distillery because I was like, no, I get it for free now.
Right.
Yeah. So then I started on this path. I was maybe in my mid 20s.
Okay.
Yeah. Met my wife, now wife, and then started drinking. And I was like, oh, I like this bourbon stuff, right?
Yeah.
That butterscotch, the classic vanilla.
So you're really getting into all the back hints, all
I was
the notes.
trying
and
it all,
everything.
man.
Yeah, yeah.
And I was joking with a friend recently, and he's got this whole whiskey library.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes, well, you have one. I was like, no, I fucking drink it, man.
Dude, I was going to say the same thing. I buy really good whiskeys.
Yeah.
And then, I don't know, a month or two go by and I'm like, shit, I'm out of whiskey.
Yeah. Well,
And I see these guys that got all these bottles and I'm like, how do you keep those bottles for that long, man?
well, I could probably have kept them, but we kept having children. So
Yeah.
we kept losing,
We
storage
hang out at
rooms.
home and
You got to, spirits like wine and beer or cigars, right? They're meant to be enjoyed.
yeah,
And,
I agree.
You can collect them. I don't care, but like, you got to enjoy them.
You've already aged it for me, so I'm good to go.
We are ready.
Ready
we
to
are
rock.
ready. But like, and it's like you want to do it with friends. You want to
Yep.
do it with family. And like I love getting together around a fire pit with my friends and pouring a little 2-bar, and I'm a lot more popular than I ever was before I opened the distillery.
No, I'll tell you, dude,
You're a celebrity.
I had a couple bottles of
small,
beer.
small C.
I had the wine finished, and then I had I think it's this one, the straight bourbon at the house. And every time somebody came over, I'm like, you got to try this. This
Yeah.
is before I even met you. I mean, I've loved your whiskey for a while. So
That is amazing, man.
yeah,
And
I'd have people come over, and I'm like, have you ever had this? No, you got to try some of this.
that's how you build, right?
Yeah.
Everyone, there's no overnight success.
Oh
right?
yeah, for sure.
It's always the 20-year overnight success. So
Yep.
you guys remember, obviously, Tito's vodka, right?
Yep.
Do you know when he started Tito's?
No clue.
1988.
Really?
He has been out schlepping.
I was gonna say Tito's
And
got big
pouring.
like 20
2015.
20 years ago.
20
Okay,
Well,
2015.
give or take.
Yeah,
Right?
right.
A year here, 2 years here or there.
I just remember hearing out of nowhere, everyone wanted Tito's, and I'm like, what the hell is Tito's?
That's 27 years
That's
after he
crazy.
opened.
Wow.
I don't have that kind of cash flow.
right.
But
That's
like
crazy, man.
And there is there's no silver bullet.
Mhm.
Let's just like make good whiskey,
Mhm.
sell good whiskey,
Yep.
make it as affordable as you can.
Yeah. And
especially
you guys aren't
nowadays.
overpriced either compared to some of the ones out
Oh,
there.
I mean, I think QFC, like locally, some retail chains have it at like the 80 proof at like $24.
Yeah.
Right. And we make money on it and everybody loves it. And then you can enjoy it. Right.
Yeah.
It's not, let me see here, get the math right. When we opened and our first batch of whiskey bourbon was 9 months old in the barrel, we were selling a split bottle. So the 375, right?
Right. Yeah.
For like $50.
Yeah.
Because we were new. We were new.
Yeah,
The
it's
new guy
really
on the
good.
block.
It's really good.
The new guy on the block,
Right,
right?
right.
And like crushing it. But if we were still selling that, or even anybody selling whiskey over 50, $60 on the shelf is really hurting
Yeah.
because the average consumer doesn't have any money,
Yeah.
right? Like I think we've had two economies. We have the private economy,
Mhm.
and then we have the big money economy.
Right.
And the average American family of 4
Mhm.
is spending like $1,200 to $1,400 more per month on baseline necessities.
Oh yeah, man, for
right?
sure.
Insurance,
Mhm.
rent, fuel,
Yep.
food, eggs.
eggs.
Damn eggs.
Freaking eggs. I haven't had an egg in months.
Well, we put one away on layaway.
There you go.
And
Oh wait, we get that tomorrow, don't we?
is that called egg away?
Egg away.
Oh, dad joke.
Lego my ego.
Lego my ego. And
Oh wait, shit. That's probably you get hit by ego for that one.
Oh no.
I got 10 hens coming in next week, so I'm
Yeah.
Oh, do you really?
shit,
running
man.
around in front of you.
We
You'll
used,
be up here in the stick
we
lounge.
used to have them in Ballard, right?
Yeah.
We lived in Ballard. Now we moved south of Seattle.
Yeah.
And but man, like the egg thing is crazy. So anyway,
Back to us,
I
Wes.
think the average American family is suffering,
Oh yeah, man,
Right.
for sure.
and that's why I'm a nut. Everybody else, like during COVID in the business, was trying to raise their prices,
Mhm.
and I was like, no, we're lowering them.
Yeah.
We're getting some efficiencies. We're going
Right.
to pass those on.
Yeah.
and that we're growing,
That's awesome.
which is not a common thread right now. for suppliers. Beer, wine, spirits, cider. Like, it's brutal
Yeah.
out there, right? Everybody's on these weight loss drugs, so they're not drinking as much.
True. Yeah.
Bastards.
Actually, I talked to somebody recently that it wasn't a weight loss drug, but they were on something, and they're like, I don't get drunk anymore. Like with this medication they're taking.
This is called maturity.
Yeah, is that what it is? I was like, well, that sucks. Like you can't even catch a buzz.
Hold on. How old are you? You're pretty young.
I'm 43.
Yeah, you're like a baby. You're 44.
46.
46, perfect. But like, I don't know where you guys are at. I know you've never been there. Well, once you were there once. But like hangovers, as you get older, they get worse. I remember when I was hungover and I was living in Manhattan. Right, I'd get to work by 9, and then I'd be sober, like fine by like 9:30.
Right.
Now, if I have a hangover, and I'll be 50 this year,
okay,
I'm like, oh shit, it's Sunday. I'm gonna be hungover till Saturday. Of next month.
Right. It's very rare that I drink enough where I get a hang. I'm a sipper, and then I'm good. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, I'll get home, and I usually have like a drink when the boys are in bed, right, to celebrate the end of the day.
Yeah.
And I'll measure it out, pour it, and call it good.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good.
Unless Hamp has some bottle at the restaurant I got to try. I killed that whistle pig pretty fast, man. That was pretty good. I never had that before. He said, hey, I got this. You ever tried it? I said, no, I've seen it. And I poured a glass. And I poured another glass. Yeah. I think it was in like 3 days
so
we were busy.
And so on. And
I killed that bottle in like 3 or 4 days at your place.
Yeah, he like,
you have his credit card, right?
He Venmoed me some,
I paid him.
He Venmoed me some money. I like, what do you say? What is for? He said, oh, the bottle's empty. I'm like, huh?
Yeah.
I go look. I'm like, yep, it sure is.
Well, so I say that you got to do it every once in a while to remind yourself why you don't do it all the time.
Right.
You just did it once.
Yeah, Hamp did it one time.
Yeah, one time. That's enough for me. Yeah.
So how are you guys doing? You doing good? Business good?
I am very blessed.
That's awesome.
Right? Like my team, it's just Maddie and Sony are on our production side. And then I'm the founder, and we are doing well. We're in 20 states.
Nice.
But, the goal here is grow slow, grow steady.
Right.
There's some ups and downs like any entrepreneurial venture.
Sure.
But we're not trying to take over the world, right?
Right.
This is not going to be $1 billion enterprise.
Sure.
But
you're enjoying doing it.
Oh, fuck, dude. It's so fun.
What are your boys into it?
Yeah, they love to come in the summer. They help bottle.
Nice.
They are, they're at that age. So they're 14, 12, and 9.
Okay.
And dad is still kind of like a god. It's quickly coming to a realization that dad is
it's going to go from dad's a god to I think I can take him.
In my sleep.
There you go. There you go.
But they love it. They love coming over. They love helping.
Yeah.
And they're like, Dad, we want to work at the distillery when we, get older. Cool. And I go, hey, that's great.
Yeah, that's awesome.
However, you are free to do whatever you want to do.
You got to do that thing, right?
And like, to be honest, it's like, McMahon, we've all got our own path. And if you guys don't take over, it's okay.
Yeah.
But also, like, I think, to be honest, that sense of place is translated to them as well, right?
Totally.
Because they love the ranch. They love, like, when you can imbibe what you're doing with your history and your heritage. Yeah. And then they have that too. Like, it's so powerful.
I was going to say, you kind of brought that to the PN dub. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And now your boys kind of have that. So that's very cool.
They are on vitamin D pills. Yeah.
Yeah. Of course.
Too. I ain't never took a vitamin D pill in my life.
Dude, I had to fucking take a suppository.
I was like,
whoa.
I go to the doctor.
I feel better already.
They say your vitamin D is low. You need to. I'm like, really? I need to move away from here because I've never taken a vitamin D pill.
I got to send my family away to recharge in California and Phoenix.
Well, I mean, I love the Northwest, right? Like we go. I just did a 50-mile hike with my oldest last summer. Right, nice. It was off the PCT, Pacific Crest Trail, and it was amazing. Right, nice. Yeah. And we have the mountains, we've got the water, we've got the temperate, we got more mountains, we've got the desert,
cold.
But as I get older, though, and I love it here, but one, the traffic sucks so bad.
It's rough.
But two, the 6 months of the gray.
Yeah.
And you're 3 months in when everybody starts wearing gray.
I'm wearing
gray.
You just give up. You just give into it, blend in.
But the natural beauty here
It
is
is.
almost unsurpassed.
When I first moved here, I was just looking around like, this is crazy. I mean, I'm from the desert, right? Grew up
Yeah,
in Nevada, lived in
I
Phoenix,
do
came
love the
here.
desert too.
Yeah, well, exactly. Yeah, and you just see all these trees and water, and I'm like,
It's
this
all
is
fake.
magical. Like, what the hell?
But I'll grow too if somebody water me every day.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
well, did someone water
did
you?
water
ever?
you.
I was gonna say,
and I.
what the hell?
It's Joe and I that didn't get any water.
They're like, oh my God, it's so green and beautiful here. It rained
I
every
hate a
other day.
hiatus. The hiatus are the worst. The only-
Looking down on us.
I tell my boys, I was like, look, man, you're gonna be what you're gonna be. But the good thing is you're gonna fit into everything.
yeah, that's true.
You know?
That is true.
So, it's pretty funny.
I asked Hamp the other day, where the hell do you get your shoes, man? What size shoe are you?
Oh, Ross, man. Ross got great deals. on shoes.
What size are you?
17.
17. Shit.
I'm like a 3.
My wife would shop in the kids section because she was like a 4.
Oh my god.
Her feet were so small. She'd shop in the kids section, and then she'd get these really nice shoes, and she'd be like, "But they were only like $30 because I got them in the kids section." I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
all right, there you go, perfect.
But we're all gonna be what we're gonna be.
Yep.
We're gonna celebrate it.
Yep.
You know, and boy, howdy, I love it. I had these guys come in from Seattle. We've become friends. And these guys, they have to duck coming in the door.
Right.
They were on the basketball team there at Seattle U, and now they work within the athletic program.
Nice.
And I'm just like, oh hi.
Yeah.
Like my wife's like, what's wrong with your neck? I was like, Seattle U stopped by.
Yeah. Call that helper's neck.
Oh god.
That's I mean, I'm not a small guy, but every time I hang out with Hamp, I'm like, I feel so little. Hold me.
Oh, that's a father-son shit going on right now.
Yeah. We're co-partners right now.
At least you're not like, let's cuddle. What the? What kind of podcast is
He's
this?
always trying to cuddle with me. It's weird. It's weird.
I'm always cold.
Yeah, because you're not from up here. You're
That's
from
right,
Louisiana.
So what's your vision for Two Bar? Where do you want to take it? Are you happy where you're at? Are you pushing for bigger
Fuck
things?
no,
You
man.
want multiple
Never happy.
distilleries? Yeah. Okay.
No, oh no. Well, originally when I opened, I thought I'd open a distillery, have the distillery here, and then one in Texas,
Back home, Texas.
right?
Yeah.
And then math.
Yeah. And then math
Interceded.
happens. Yeah. Math
And,
happens.
and distilleries don't work if you have multiple locations. You
Okay.
get the economies of scale. Right?
Yeah. Makes
One
sense.
facility could be run by one person,
Mhm.
and it's just bigger.
Right.
Right. And so we're going to do one distillery. We are looking to expand
Okay.
our facility. So we're in a small little space in Soto in off 4th Avenue in Lander.
And you said you do or don't do tastings there?
We do.
You do.
But
Is it by
you know,
schedule appointment only, or
just email us. We'd love
Okay.
to have you down. Um,
Just knock on the door.
but it's
I'm always
yeah,
there.
but we don't bullshit a bullshitter. When you laugh at your own joke, is that a sign of sociopathy or psychopathy?
it's a little bit of both.
Fuck.
Yeah. But don't worry.
I'm
Socio-
laughing at
socio-
I'm
psycho.
both then. I'm both.
Yeah, for sure.
My
You're in
wife's
good
gonna be
company.
like, "How did it go?" And I was like, "Well, I've diagnosed my issues."
Figured out what my problem is.
Yeah, but so our hours are pretty limited because we have a small team, right?
Okay.
There's just 3 of us.
Yeah.
And Maddie has 3 young kids, and I've got 3 kids. So
Right.
Fridays are, and I think Saturdays, we have some open hours for tastings. We love it when people come in and you get to see the whole facility, and we like, mill, mash, ferment, distill, age, and bottle,
Nice.
everything on site.
Right.
And it's a super fun experience, and we'd love to have you
Yeah. Like come
But
down and check
also
it
it's-
out for sure.
at your local retailers,
Yep.
pretty much everywhere. We were talking about where we're not, but we're working on that.
Right.
Always
right.
working on
Always
that.
working on that.
But the long
But you're
term,
in 20 states, man. That's pretty awesome.
20 states.
Yeah, that's great. How much work did that take on your part? How much leg work?
12 years.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, were you visiting every state? How does
Well,
that work?
So this is kind of funny. I remember when I don't know what the hell I'm doing. And I
Fake it till you make it, man. That's how we roll.
100%. But I used to put together these produced emails that were like beautiful,
Like
slick,
a
and-
press package almost.
Oh my god, right? And I was like with pictures and like 3D graphics. They were like pop-up emails. I don't even know if that's possible, but we figured out a way. And
Slaps you.
and then I was like, well, it worked, but not that great. And then I was like, well, shit, let's try something else, right? You always got to try.
Pivot.
And I literally just said bourbon, subject line, we make, period, interested, question mark. and I got like a 50% response rate.
Really?
I was like, because then you realize nobody has the time
Yeah.
to read a
That's
5-page
true.
email.
That is a good point.
You know,
That is a good point.
and I've always had that kind of relationship with my distributors. We're direct. We're on the level.
Right.
You know, we help each other. We work together where possible.
Nice.
But it was simple.
No, it makes sense. Totally
You
makes
know?
sense. Yeah.
And I still do
Because
it.
the second you see that, when I get those emails, you're like, this is some marketing bullshit. Like, I don't
Yeah.
want to look at it.
Well, now it's like, oh, that's fucking ChatGPT.
Right. Yeah,
Right?
that
Like,
too. That too.
was not written by a human. One, it's perfect.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
I need
Yeah.
to start spelling bourbon wrong.
Yeah.
Just to make it
I
a
spell
little-
a lot of shit wrong anyway. You know, I'll be like, where he's from, man. Don't worry about it. Y'all just keep
I wanna
reading.
do
Yeah, it
business with
says
this
y'all
guy.
in it.
Y'all just keep reading. I'm fixing to send you another email, all right?
He meant Gator. He wrote later.
Yeah. Gator later. Shit.
But that's good. I learned a lot today, you know, with this, you know. So,
Did you really?
yeah.
All right.
I know
It
that.
doesn't matter.
So what? Talk about each one of these though. I mean, we kind of
sure.
we kind of touched it, but these are you've got the 128 aside from these, right? Is this everything other than the 128?
Yeah, we do. So these are our 4 mainstays, right?
Okay.
Like, and then we do fun one-offs, maybe once every year, or every 2 years. So we had a
Okay.
counterbalance whiskey made from a single malt,
Nice.
working with a local brewery, which is really fun.
Which brewery?
It was Counterbalance Brewing.
Oh, it was Counterbalance. Okay.
What does a single malt mean? What do you mean when you say single
Yeah.
malt?
So a single malt whiskey is made from malted barley only. So right,
Okay.
so we have 50 minimum.
Can I
of 50,
try the wine barrel?
Yeah, of course you can. We already know the fucking wine barrel.
know the wine barrel.
Try this one. Actually, that's the bottom.
I didn't mean to
bottom.
interrupt, but while you guys were talking, I thought I was getting a little parched.
I don't think Joe cares about you, Ham.
We hang out all the time,
You
man.
figured that out, huh?
No, you guys are like a married couple.
Dude,
Work-
that
work
too
spouse.
fucking close, right? there.
Work
It's
spouse
too
right
fucking
there.
close.
Yeah, it's true, right?
A single malt. Go ahead.
So single malt is a whiskey made from malted barley, right? And so Scotch is a classic single malt.
Bad.
Cheers.
good, yeah.
So that was our only SKU for 9 years.
really good.
And it's all that same flavor, but just more so because it's at 100, and that's at 100 proof.
That,
You would
this
not
is
guess.
100 proof.
Yeah.
Yeah, put your
All
pillow
right.
on the couch.
You want to give me a ride home later? No, this is
I
awesome.
think
man.
that's also a pretty nice pour there. Like,
Yeah, it is thick. I thought
you were like 2 fingers, but those are fat fingers.
big hands.
Oh, sure, whatever you want to call it.
No, that is good.
So that and so Scotch is a single malt made in Scotland, right? But you can have a single malt anywhere in the world, like a Japanese single malt, Indian single malt, French, et cetera, et cetera. And like the U.S. just had that appellation or that designation of American single malts. We have a lot of single malt makers here in the U.S.
Okay.
and a number of in Washington as well. So like Copperworks and
Yeah, they got good stuff like
Westland.
Copperworks.
Yeah, they all
Yeah.
yeah, great stuff. And so there's a lot of people making single malt, but bourbon is an American only whiskey. Like now it's American single malt too.
Right.
But ours is majority corn and then other grains, including malted barley.
Gotcha.
And
Okay.
then like rye would be majority rye.
Yeah, the reason why I asked that because
Yeah.
I had my accountant. She was in the bar the other day,
Yeah.
and she said she wanted a single malt Scotch. I didn't have it,
You,
and I didn't know what the hell she was talking about either. So
did you pour a Shirley Temple?
she's like, let me show you a picture. So she pulled up. What's the name
Well,
of
there's
that
like
Scotch?
so there's
I don't
blended
remember. It's pretty good,
blended
though.
Scotch, right?
Yeah.
And like I think Macallan is a blended Scotch,
It
right?
started with a B, like Budella or Budella. Or,
Yeah, it's like a
Bruichladdich?
huh?
yeah.
Bruichladdich?
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
one's really good.
Yeah,
She's,
so
you're overpaying her. She like you should if your accountant likes like that kind of stuff. You're like
You're probably right.
Well,
need a
Billy,
new one.
Billy's been around for a long time. She knows
Oh,
what she likes and what she
knows
doesn't
where all
like.
the skeletons are.
Yeah.
Then you probably should keep her in pay her as much as she wants.
Get another bottle of that scotch.
So I went and got 2 bottles. I got one on the shelf and one in the closet.
She's like, what did you say? Because I have the Department of
Department of Revenue is on here.
on line 3.
Can you hold a second, please? You got something to say?
What was that write off again?
I just said I was making sure you didn't need another pour. That's what I was saying.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's why I asked that question because she said, I want a single malt
Yeah.
Scotch. So,
Yeah.
and I could, she's like, here's a picture of it. I'm like, okay.
How much was that bottle?
It was like $64.
That's not too bad, but that's your cost.
Yeah. And that's where it gets so fascinating. So with those, so Washington State, right, has some of the highest taxes in the country on spirits. So when we sell a bottle to our, when we sell a bottle to our distributor, right, we made X. The distributor marks that up by say 50% for a 30% margin, give or take, right?
Yeah.
They have to pay a 5% of gross of what they sell to you, the bar or restaurant to, or the liquor store to the state.
Yeah.
If you sell to a liquor store, the liquor store has to pay 17% of gross because they do another 50% markup, give or take, right?
Yeah.
Everybody was different.
Yeah.
But 17% of gross is a big number.
Yeah.
Right. And then you, the consumer, have to pay a 20.5% sales tax and a per liter fee. So the state, you do the math, makes more money on a dollar amount than anybody else in the chain.
I totally agree.
Right?
Yep.
And you as a on-prem or bar restaurant, right, you have to pay a 17% tax. No, 13.7%. 0.7% tax and a per liter fee of $1.83 per 750, right?
He's
the state,
yes, I do.
Yeah, the state, the amount of money that they're making. So
that's wild.
The 3 largest liquor stores in or around Washington State are
Southern Glazer.
No, that's a distributor.
Oh, you say okay, never mind.
Liquor store.
Liquor store.
So you're talking about the chain ones?
It's 2 in Idaho.
Okay.
On the border.
Oh, yeah.
And 1 off I-5 in Oregon.
Yep.
They outsell almost, I think, every other liquor store in Washington because people are going down there and paying 10%.
Yep.
Right? And it's why all the independents here in Washington are gone because that 17%, they couldn't make it work.
In Louisiana, alcohol sales 3%.
I thought in Louisiana they pay you to drink.
That too. But
if you're going to be eating gator,
I got to move to Louisiana.
They're going to pay you to drink to make up for that.
3% sales tax on alcohol.
Yeah.
I don't know what Arizona is anymore.
God, that's cheap.
Yeah.
Well, and then I remember, so, like I said, high school and college here, right? And I go back there down to Texas, and then I'd land, and, family member, aunt and uncle would pick me up from the airport and hand me a beer.
Right.
Because you could be in the passenger seat as long as you're not driving. Yeah. And I was like, this is civilized.
Yeah. It's funny. We went back. I took my wife to meet my family in Nevada, and my grandma, it was like 10:30, 11 o'clock. And, introducing my wife to my grandmother and everything. And they're talking, and she goes to the fridge. She comes back with a beer and hands it to me. And I was like, welcome to my hometown. Thanks for the beer, Grandma.
No. Love you, Grandma.
Love you, Grandma. Yep. Exactly.
But it's amazing in Washington how hard it is. But we were already talking about that economically.
Well, and it's funny, when I first moved here, some guys that I was working with are like, "Hey, we're going to Oregon this weekend. Do you want in?" And I'm like, "What are we talking about?" They're like, "Oh, we're doing an alcohol run."
Well, California is where you go
for alcohol.
Oh, hell yeah!
Really?
No taxes. It's like
Wild I would
West
think it would be
there.
like here, California. Really?
I know people who drive U-Hauls down
to California.
Actually, that's where I recognized hemp from.
you wasn't supposed to tell. Damn it.
No, I know it wasn't him, because he'd be like, "Hey, man, you want to drive to California?"
Yeah.
We're taking a road trip.
We're going to take a little trip to California. Let's go.
We got the RV now, man.
Yeah.
I mean,
a lot of people do it.
I didn't know California had so there's no.
No, they have sales tax, but it's not like
here.
It's still cheaper than I think.
Still cheaper.
No kidding.
Because Oregon and Idaho are control states where the state owns the import and distribution and retail for spirits.
Okay.
And they have a nice markup. Still cheaper than in Washington.
I mean, everything's expensive in California. I thought we were neck and neck, Washington, California.
I think they make their liquor sales cheaper for a reason.
You got all those actors, singers, artists. You know what I mean? Everybody's out there drinking. What is
cheaper
it?
You sell, if you sell it cheaper and you sell a lot of it, you're still going to make the money.
Yeah.
Well, if you cover everything else, yeah. You're right. Well, and that's why, to be honest, we've always focused on it's not cheap. It's all 4-year whiskey. I don't know anybody in my size of distillery or in the craft business who's really doing 4-year whiskey that they made from scratch,
right?
Selling at the prices we're selling at.
No, I was going to say your prices are great.
They really I was amazed when you said how much it was.
Yeah.
Well, it's because I need people to afford it.
Yeah.
Right. And
you're not pricing yourself out of the market.
And I want people to afford it, but over time, right? There's no, right? You don't want anybody going down that wrong path,
Sure.
right? Where it's like
Sure.
where we're selling it for $12 a bottle.
Yeah, exactly.
Nobody-
That's the one that gives you the headache.
Yeah.
There must be got some tea in here mixed up with some Kool-Aid.
I
That's
think that's when
$12
where
a bottle.
you open the bottle and you get the headache.
Yeah. Yes.
You know?
Yeah. Exactly. So, what's your favorite whiskey bourbon drink? Like, you're an old fashioned guy? Are you a straight guy? Do you like smoking it? Is there anything out there that you would like suggest?
Ice.
Just ice. All right.
Yeah,
And I appreciate that too, because I know some other whiskey guys talk to a couple distillers, and they're
Yeah.
like, "Oh, you put ice in that?" I'm like, "I'm a nice guy. I like ice in it."
Look, I learned long ago. I don't care how the fuck you drink it,
Right.
as long as you drink it.
There
That's
you go.
right.
Right. But like it should be. I like it neat. I like it on ice. Right. And
I'm a
what
neat
I
guy
what I
myself.
do now, and I've evolved. Right. I used to drink it all neat,
Mhm.
and that's when you have a problem. But no, just joking.
Oh shit.
I know, right? Damn it. Now, especially with 3 boys, and you don't know if something's going to happen at night. You're going to have to get up, right? You
Yeah,
got to
that's
be ready
true.
at all times.
That's very
So I
true.
pour and I measure it out, and then I add ice just to make it a little longer.
Yeah.
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 And to really just kind of savor it.
Sure.
But sometimes I'll just drink it neat. But
Yeah.
the wine barrel is the most like that kind of a Manhattan-esque.
Okay.
And that's like, so ice cube in there, it's like kind of a
Yeah. Right.
You know?
Right. Yeah.
and it's like,
The amaretto is almost like an old fashioned. I mean,
yeah, isn't it wild?
yeah, it is. It is.
Yeah, I hate my life.
I'm sure you do.
So do you guys
Call my bluff.
do you have any signature cocktails? We had another distillery we did the wine tasting with, and they had their signature cocktails that they wanted us to put on Hamp's menu. We did adopt we adopted one.
Every supplier wants you to put all of their cocktail
Oh, yeah,
on your
100%.
menu,
Yeah,
right?
of course.
It's easy on us to say that.
Yeah.
I mean, we have a lot of cocktails, but and I can't remember. I can pull it up right now. I'm really bad at memorizing how to make the cocktails.
Yeah, no worries.
I have a cheat sheet at home. But like a paper plane, which is, as I understand it, was like a pre-prohibition cocktail. That's just
A paper plane?
Yeah, it's
Never heard of it. Have you heard of
No, I like that one just because I was a flight attendant.
it? Yeah.
Dealing with planes,
You don't want to fly on a paper plane, my
no,
friend.
not at all.
Oh, okay.
No.
Yeah.
No.
But it's got it's also perfect for the Northwest because there's a lot of lemon juice in it, so it wards
Really?
off scurvy and maybe vitamin. Has that vitamin D. I don't know if lemon has some vitamin
Are
D.
you fighting off scurvy in the Northwest? Oh man, that's some old timey shit right there.
Yeah, it must-
But it's just like old fashions, Manhattans.
Okay,
are such a go-to, right? Like,
Yeah.
we all want our own. What is it? Named cocktail.
Sure. Yeah.
But like, I don't have the fucking money
Yeah.
to build a brand around a cocktail.
And
I'm
honestly, I
just working
don't-
to build a brand around the brand.
In my opinion, the whiskey speaks for itself. You know
That's
what
what
I mean?
it should.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's doing a great job. I wouldn't.
Thank you
I
very
wouldn't
much.
think that you would need to put
Well,
out some signature
I'll take
cocktail.
Maddie and
but-
Sony. They're the real makers. I'm just
Yeah.
in the way.
Yeah. So finish going through these bottles. You talked
yeah,
a little bit. We got stuck when Hamp asked about the single malt. So.
That's all right. It's a conversation, not a monologue.
Oh yeah, 100%.
So one other quick thing is like this is all the same whiskey
Mm-hmm.
base. So we only do one thing every day, and that's a mash bill. So that's the proportion of grains that we cook in our mash tun, right? So
Okay.
it's about 60% corn, 6% wheat, 34% 4 different malted barleys, right? And that
Okay.
would be like similar to a single
Single
malt that you were
malt.
asking about.
yeah.
And we only do one mash bill
Okay.
every day. Nobody else is doing that, right? Because
Okay.
they're smarter than I am. But that means that all this whiskey that we're aging could
Mhm.
become any of these 4 different SKUs because
Gotcha.
we finish it 4 different ways or 3 different ways. And that's very easy operationally to do,
Mhm.
right? So all this whiskey is over 4 years old.
Mhm.
The 80 proof is that like butterscotch, the vanilla, the cherry and chocolate, kind
Mm-hmm.
of honey on the finish. And that's from the mash bill, the grains that we use, how we ferment it,
Yeah.
distill it, and then, of course, age it. The bottled and bond is that plus a little bit of time,
Okay.
but bottled at 100 proof, so not diluted.
Okay.
And it's all those same flavors, which you're getting now.
Yeah.
But just more so.
Mhm.
And it's also
Richer.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Just deeper, more
Yeah.
complex.
Yep.
And then the amaretto, as I was sharing earlier,
This is my favorite podcast we've done so far.
I'm sure.
it's like the second one.
No, man.
Hold on, I just want to back that fucking train up. If you're talking about time with me, there's something wrong with you.
No, I'm talking about your whiskey. You're all right, but the whiskey's really good.
Okay. That I'll take.
Yes.
I'll give the kudos to Maddie and Sony.
All right.
So bad.
It's great. We talk shit. It's great.
Oh, I love it. You can see I just have not taken to that at all. The amaretto we've already talked about, right? It's working with that great distillery in Vancouver.
Yep.
Sons of Vancouver. And then the wine barrel is kind of a fun one. We work with Sparkman Winery out in Woodinville.
Okay.
And we get kind of a number of their bold red barrels.
Okay.
And age our bourbon in it about for 6 to 12 months, give or take.
Yeah.
Depending upon temperature and a lot of fun stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then we bottle it, and then so it's our bourbon barrels for 4 years, and then into their wine barrels for up to a year.
Wow.
I was
And
trying
that's-
to figure out why you call it wine barrel when it's a whiskey.
Yeah, exactly. No, that's right.
Yeah.
And to be honest, I think I misnamed it. Like, it's my favorite, and I don't think people
I think
get
it's
it.
good.
Oh, it's so good.
It's this is the first one that I had from 2 Bar.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So,
You were saying that.
I gotta ask, how much does this one go for?
Between on the retail, 35 to 40.
Man, is this the one that they sell that I was telling you about that I got it over at what the hell, Copper? I'm trying to remember the name of the place.
Cedar.
Thank you. Sorry.
Yeah.
Cedar Brook.
Cedar Brook.
Cedar Brook.
Yeah, they had a
They had that, and we also did a
it
single
was this
barrel
one.
release for them. Yeah.
maybe it was a single barrel release for them.
Yep. And
How
they
much
did-
was that one going for?
I don't know what they were selling for it, but I would guess it was in the maybe.
I'm gonna tell you how much I paid for it.
Sure. How much?
I think I spent $120 on that bottle.
Well, then you got a great deal.
You're just trying to make me not feel bad now.
No, I have no, one, like when we do the one-offs,
Yeah.
there is literally no other whiskey in the world
Mhm.
that has ever
Mhm.
or will ever taste like that again.
It was totally worth it. I just, when you were telling me how much this one was, I'm like, is this the same one that I bought?
No, but
because it was a wine barrel finish.
That one
as
was
well.
also like, it was at a much higher proof. Right?
Yes, it was.
And it was
much
at
higher proof.
it was a one-off thing that'll never see the light of day. And
Yeah.
that's where whiskey can be so beautiful.
Yeah, it's funny because they had a limited supply of it, so it must
Yep.
have been that single run. And a buddy of mine had gone to they were doing like tasting classes. They did whiskeys, they did scotches, they did gins, everything.
And that place is amazing because you would not know
Oh, it's really cool.
it exists.
They're not doing it anymore.
The single barrels
Or
the
no, the tastings that they were doing.
Oh,
it was like an
yeah.
educational thing, and the guy that was doing it is.
But that location is crazy.
it's really cool.
It's amazing. Have you ever been
Yeah.
there?
Cedar Brook.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
Is that,
it's
where is it at?
Right near the airport.
yeah, it's right near the
Okay,
airport.
And it's a beautiful
Alaska Airlines used
facility.
to have their Christmas parties there.
Yeah,
I think, wasn't it an Alaskan airline? No.
Yeah.
It was like an insurance company or the retreat center, as I recall. Don't quote me on this.
I don't know.
And it is beautiful, idyllic.
Mhm.
There's like a water feature.
Yeah, it is because they
Yeah,
asked
no,
us.
it's nice.
We could have booked rooms there for people
Right.
that was driving, so far away. Yeah,
It
so
might have been maybe drinking.
Yeah, and drinking. Yeah,
Maybe.
Of course.
And Alaska,
Wouldn't be me though.
Alaska only does things like within a 5-mile radius of the
Right.
airport, right?
Yeah, exactly.
That's true. That's true.
So yeah, I've actually been to Cedar Brook.
Yeah. And they have a few properties. And
I've just been to the one, and I went there to get this. I signed up. Well, that one. I signed up for the tasting, and I'm like, because this is where you get the bottle of.
and I
the-
would say, do you still have that bottle? But I know better.
Oh hell no!
No.
Hell no! I ain't got that bottle.
We're not collectors. We're
No, we're not.
drinkers.
No, we're not.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I did share it. And I told a lot of my buddies
With
about
myself and myself.
it. Yeah, it was me, myself, and I. We had a great
Me,
time.
myself, and I.
No, I did hold that one back. So when I had people over, actually, we had a massive Christmas party at our house, and I
Oh,
busted
fun.
out that one and some other ones, and I was like, "You guys got to try this."
See, that's the kind of
went
thing
over
that
really well.
I love to hear because, like, you
Yeah.
want it to be shared with people,
Yes,
right? Like, and it, I think
it was hard though, man.
I like drinking
I
alone.
held it. I'm gonna get you.
It's when you tried to breastfeed it that was really weird.
It was really weird. Yeah.
That's when you were at the bottom of the barrel.
That's when we had
oh
an
no,
issue.
we're almost out.
We
That's
got
when
no
we had
more.
an issue.
But like that's where
Yeah.
it makes it awesome, right? Like when we're in the business of memories,
Mhm.
right? Like so are you, right? When people are eating your food or at one of your bars, like, and they're with a friend they haven't seen in years,
Yep.
and they're having the time of their lives.
Yep.
Like that's what it's about.
Yep.
That's
I agree.
all you want.
Yeah.
Because they remember that forever.
Mhm.
Right.
And so when you say stuff like that, that's what really makes it kind of worthwhile for me to
Yeah,
keep
that's
doing
awesome,
it.
man.
Yeah.
Very cool. Well, you know what? We're at an hour and 15. I think that's a good way to wrap it. Is there anything else you want to get out there before
No,
we do
you
that?
guys have been crazy fun. Congrats on everything.
Thank
the
you.
space is
Congrats to you,
beautiful.
man. I mean, this is very cool.
I mean,
You put your heart and soul into that, man. That's awesome.
It's beautiful bottles.
Not literally.
And some blood, some guts.
That's a little salty. Shit.
No, but I mean, you really stuck to it, and it's working. And congratulations.
Oh, thank you very much.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, if you got anything else?
I'd like to say it's the team.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, for
Maddie
sure.
and Sony are just
Well, you know,
stellar.
we can do this again and
Let's do it.
bring some of the team in.
Yeah. You're gonna be like, good lord, that Kaiser guy is boring as shit.
And we're going to get you over here for a tasting.
Yeah, let's
do
do a
it.
tasting of it.
Only if you have a sip.
I guess you won't be coming over for a tasting.
I overplayed my hand.
Sticks to his guns, man. He sticks to his guns.
You've called like 2 of my bluffs already. God damn it.
Man, he's 46 years old. You're never going to get him to budge now.
Right?
He's not 46.
He's 62 in August, okay?
62? That's awesome, man. Love it.
And spry as shit. Calls me at 2 a.m. I'm asleep. What the hell do you want?
I got shit to do, man.
Well, he knows you're breastfeeding that bottle.
That's
Yeah,
true.
that's
That is
right.
true.
Yeah,
That's why I'm sleeping.
What a weird joke that became.
I'm in, man. I'm in. All right, guys. Thanks. It was good. We'll do it again.
Awesome. My pleasure.
Take us out of here.
Lights dim, it's game time. Interview sharp, cut through like a shank line. Stick lounge, stories unfold, real and raw. From hustlers to dreamers, breaking laws with a claw. Microphone warriors, capturing life's conflicts. Sitting across legends, tales flick like black pics. Drop bars, not mics, knowledge, it rains. From the streets to the beats in every vein. Stick lounge podcast, tales heavy with the weight. Real lives, gritty stories, never fake. Joe and Hampton, digging deep, no facade.